Welcome, friends and other relations, to Surviving the Elements. This is a new series, kind of a break from Surviving Daventry, just taking a break for a little bit. I will continue with King's Quest 3 later on, and hopefully, hopefully find a bunch of people who enjoy it because King's Quest 3 is my favorite King's Quest game so far. But Elements, the game, happens to be my favorite, absolute favorite, online CCG. The best one I have ever found. And I really enjoy CCG games. If you don't know what a CCG is, a CCG is a card collecting game. And that is that is what this game is in a big way. There are, let me show it to you, 12 elements. You get a lot of card games that are elements based, where you get a few different kinds of elements. This one has the classic elements with earth, fire, water, air, but it also has, like I said, 12. It has life and death, light and darkness, time, entropy, gravity, and ether. That's quite a selection, and one of the best things about it is you can mix these different elements as much as you want. The game relies on the mechanic of what's called quanta. You earn different quanta to buy these cards with, but there's just so much variety and so much complexity in the cards and in the way the game is designed. It's a simple design really, but the cards themselves have such a variety of different. It's just offer a lot of depth to the strategy because of how differently they all interact with each other. It's an amazing experience, and I hope that you'll come along with me for the ride. I hope that you'll go and try it yourself because it really is a fun game. And I'm going to have a format for this series. I'm going to start each episode featuring either a card, which I'll build a deck around myself, or a deck that I find on one of the forums. And there are so many decks suggested in the forums that we won't get to them all, and there's new ones all the time. But hopefully I can show you some of the most popular decks and some of the most popular strategies, so that if you go and play the game, you won't go into it blind. And just to have fun, because the next part of each episode's format is I'm actually going to play a game with the deck that I built or that I borrowed from the forum, and see if I can beat the AI with the strategy that I've either looked up or tried to come up with. So I built this particular deck, which I'm going to show you the import code for. For people who know how to play this game, this is going to mean something. Who are already experienced with this game. Each deck that you build has a code, and so you can easily copy this code down, and then paste it into your own game, and then it'll automatically rebuild the deck using the cards in the code. So I'm going to include the code in the subject description so that you can try this deck out yourself if you want. It's a pretty simple deck if you have a few Arctic squids and a trident. You don't really need this upgraded freeze. But anyway, I digress. This deck is built around Toadfish. Toadfish is a card that is particularly useful. It's one of the more powerful water cards, not just because it only costs 5 water quanta to play, which is much less than the 10 of the Ice Dragon, but also because it has an attack power of 6, HP of 4, which is really good for such a cheap card, especially when you combine that with the fact that it has a special ability, Inflate, which allows you to poison other creature cards. So this card is not only good for attack, but also for creature control. And you'll understand what I mean by that in a little bit. Creature control is important in this game. I won't spend as much time explaining in future episodes, and I'm hoping that you'll be able to pick up a lot just as we go along, or as you go and play it yourself, because this is really a very simple game, but the complexity and the strategy is a fun thing to learn on the go. And really, that's the best way to learn anything, is to play it, to experience it, to immerse yourself in it. So I'll just give you the simple parts right away. This is kind of like Magic the Gathering. You're trying to whittle down your opponent's HP. He starts out with 0 sometimes. He generally speaking, if you're fighting a level 3, which is like a regular elemental, he starts out with 100. You start out with 100. You'll always start with 100, and you choose how many cards go in your deck. If you run out of HP or you run out of cards, then you lose. So yeah, one of those things. Usually HP. And in order to play cards, you start with a certain number of cards that you draw, and then you draw a new card every turn. In order to play cards, you need quanta. Quanta are earned through water pillars or through your mark. I have a mark of air, which means I get an air quantum every turn. And I play these water pillars so that I'll get 3 water quanta every turn. And you can add more water pillars or more pillars as you draw them, and you can have any assortment of pillars as you build different and more complex decks. So I'm an I have an air elemental mark, but this is all water cards. The reason I have an air mark is because toadfish need air quanta in order to poison other creatures. So this deck has the mark of water, but it looks like it's a fire-water mix. It's got water pillars and fire pillars, which means they're probably going to be using steam engines. Yeah. Oh, and there are also weapons cards and shields cards. You can only have one weapon or one shield at a time. There are some exceptions involving different cards that we will talk about later. But generally speaking, you can only have one weapon or one shield at a time. That's one of the things about this game. It's very simple and easy to understand, but it's also incredibly there's so much depth when you start mixing cards and different strategies and using them on different things. And yeah, you'll see what I mean soon enough. It's a cool experience. So the steam engine, he uses 2 fire quanta to add 5 to the steam engine's attack power, and the attack power goes down 1 every turn until it reaches 0. But you can easily build it up to quite a bit by just steaming it every turn. Okay. My Arctic Squid. The Arctic Squid, by the way, is a card that you cannot buy. You have to earn it by playing different cards. Okay. And I'm going to freeze him so that he stops attacking me. One of my biggest problems right now, though, is this Fahrenheit, which is a sword, the sword associated with the fire elemental. Huh. Okay. I really want these steam engines to die. And I really want to get the thing is this Fahrenheit's not going to stop killing me. And I'm going to have some real problems if I don't kill him quickly. Let's see, dry spell gives me quanta, but it doesn't give me health. Okay. So unfortunately for me, it looks like this game is going to end. Looks like I'm probably going to die. Because even though I'm controlling the creatures really well, his Fahrenheit does more damage depending on how much fire quanta he has. And he's been building up the fire quanta and not spending it on much. He's got 6 fire pillars, which is way more than he really needs. So he got a really good draw this turn, basically. Ice Shield, it's probably not going to save me. But it was worth a try. So anyway. Oh, and the reason that my creatures keep freezing, just so you know, is because of his Ice Shield over there. Alright, so when you lose some of the Electrum is actually what it's called, the money in this game. I'll have to show you what it looks like when we win. Probably next episode. Maybe next episode. Since next episode will be using another person's deck, probably will be better than my on-the-spot design. But anyway, I hope that you enjoy this series. I hope that you catch on, not catch on, pick up some of my enthusiasm for the game, because it's a game I love, and I hope that shows through as I show you the different decks and demonstrate some of the different strategies. And I hope we have some fun while we do it. Any hoozle. Thank you, friends and other relations, for watching. I hope that you have a wonderful day. I hope that you go on a fun adventure. and I will see you anon. Bye bye.